Hey Gordon. Oh my gosh, it's been forever. Latanya, my sister from Texas, is here. Hey, I'm excited. Hi, Lavonndra, getting you all set up. Hello, everybody. Aisha, hello. Hello, hello, hello. Rough got rhymes. Hey,
Hey,
how are you?
I'm good. How are you?
I am wonderful. I
Awesome.
am happy that you are able to join us today because I know that everyone is going to love you and your products and what you're talking about. So,
Thank you. I'm
how is it going
excited.
over there
I'm
on
good.
your
I'm
side of
good.
town?
It's the as they say, the new normal. So
Yes.
I have adjusted to it at this point. I think I have gone through all of the emotions that you can possibly go through. So at first I was, cool with being at home because I was like, I'm a homebody anyway, so it's not a big
Mm-hmm.
deal. And then I went through the phase of like, I don't want nobody to tell me what to do. I don't want to be stuck in my house, all day. I want to go somewhere. So I've gone through every emotion that you can have, and now I'm just kind of at peace. I've accepted it. I've adapted to it. I do miss, the social interaction of things, but
Mm-hmm.
it is what it is.
Right. And I think that's been the hardest thing. And it really is about going through all of these emotions. I thought something was wrong with me at first because I was like, oh, I'm good. I don't like hanging out with a lot of people anyway.
Right.
Then I went from, wait, but I do want to see certain people.
Yep.
Then I went from I had this crazy level of anxiety and I was like, okay, where are all these emotions coming from? Am I really losing it? But it can be one of those things. Well, it has been one of those things to where I've processed so many emotions that I don't even know which way is right these days. Today is a good day where I'm not sad, mad, crying, anxious, or anything. I'm just like, okay, let's do this.
Yeah, yeah, I've been there too. I think the one thing that has resulted out of this, like I've found myself redecorating my whole house, because you're stuck in the house, you're bored, and you're just kind of looking around, and you're like, you know what? I don't like that. And so then I get online and I start ordering stuff. So like, quarantine has become expensive for me. So like, I'm like, I need to occupy my time because there's nothing to do. And like, you're scrolling on social media and everybody's selling something. And, because you can't go out and physically do things,
Hmm.
that instant gratification of buying something, that impulse has kicked in. And I'm just kind of like, okay, I need to chill out because I can't afford quarantine too much longer.
Right. I saw somebody posted a graphic and they were saying, okay, here is how my expenses have been since I've quarantined. And it was rent was like 1,500 and telephone 125, quarantine shopping $16,752, and then groceries because we are at home and online shopping. Even if people were, I wasn't an online shopper before, but I found myself in nights I couldn't sleep. I'm looking at crazy stuff. I was like, "Ooh, I could buy this. Ooh, I
Yeah.
wonder what this will be like." So the quarantine shopping, we still get that. Oh yes, and clothes. We're gonna wear the clothes soon, Mary Margaret. So first of all, thank you everybody for joining us tonight. Tonight, my guest is the beautiful, the one and only, the creator behind one of the best. You got to get this brand. Um, Lavonndra and I can't even remember when we met. I was thinking about it. I said, well, I think it was before the Sports One opening. It was definitely before the fashion show. So it's been so long, I could not even remember.
I would say we are probably pushing towards it's closer to 10 years than it is 5 years.
That's crazy. I
I'm,
love it.
I'm pretty sure that I knew you when I was producing the CIAA fashion show. And
Hmm.
that was in 2012.
So,
So,
okay,
yeah, so it's
2012,
at, at,
2000.
at least 8 years.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, yeah, it
And
has.
you've done a lot of great things since then. So, for the people who don't know you, tell everyone who you are And you got to tell them about your brand that you have so they'll know about all this glowing, beautiful skin you got. And I know a couple of people are interested in skincare on live, so we have plenty to unpack for them.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, my name is Lavonndra Johnson. A lot of my friends call me Elle, and my brand is Elle Johnson Company, and we are a botanical-based skincare line, specifically targeted and marketed towards women of color. I felt like while there are a lot of products that are targeted towards us, there are not a lot of products that target us in terms of the luxury space.
Okay.
When I say that, I mean any type of luxury goods, your luxury brands from fashion, definitely in the beauty industry, you know, we are the highest consumer of these products.
Mm-hmm.
And, you know, they enjoy our dollars, but they don't necessarily market towards us. So if you think
Right.
about, you know, without naming any major luxury brands, if you think about the luxury beauty brands that you see, these prestigious brands, you do not see women of color represented in those brands, you know, so they will sell their product to you, but they won't market specifically to you. And I wanted to fill that void. I wanted to offer a luxury product to women of color, and a product that would be able to go in stores that they call prestige. So my brand would be considered a prestige brand, meaning that it's not necessarily intended for your stores like a Walmart or a Target or anything like that. We're thinking more so along your luxury department store counter. So it's a true experience when you go in and you shop with these luxury stores. You know, and as I just walk those stores, which I oftentimes do because my background is in branding, you know, I just did not see us represented. I didn't see us in the ads. I didn't see us being catered to. And I wanted to fill that void because, you know, skincare is something that I'm passionate about, beauty in general, but specifically skincare. And I wanted something that was representative of me. And I also wanted something that was beautiful. Like, I am a collector of what I like to call beautiful things. You know, I like
You
nice
are.
stuff. That's just, that has always been me, from clothes to shoes to, you know, living. You know, I want to look and live well. And in my search and my studies with skincare, I just felt like there was a void, you know. I didn't want anything, you know, that looked, for lack of a better word, cheap or homemade. Or,
Right.
you know, I didn't want that. You know, I wanted something where you could look at it and you can see, you know, okay, they put a lot of thought and effort into this. You know, this is a luxury good. So that's where I'm at now. But prior to that, like I stated, my background has always been in branding. So I've done a lot of things. I've done fashion show production. I have also owned a women's clothing boutique. I did that for many, many years. So I really enjoyed doing that. But the schedule and the time commitment was just so much with owning a store and having my daughter, who was much younger at the time, that I wanted to exit that and do something different. So, you know, I've worked with individual clients with helping them to get their brands up and running, whether it be a product-based brand or whether it just be a person themselves. So I spearheaded when Peter Thomas and Cynthia Bailey were here in the Charlotte market. I was their Charlotte head contact for anything with media, PR, relations, coordinating the televised production for them, showing the opening of their location. So, you know, I've been around for a bit. You know, you know, sometimes I sit back and think, I'll be like, golly, I did all of that.
Right. You did all of that. I was going to say, and you've done a lot. I love that you said, I want to love and look well, live and look well.
Yes.
So the first thing I'm going to say, if your branding and your mission was to make Black women, women of color, feel good when they saw ourselves in marketing and branding, You did that. I remember driving down the highway and I looked up at this billboard. I said, "Oh my God, that's a Black woman." And then I was like, oh my God, I know her." And it ended up being, first of all, you picked beautiful models to represent your brand. Second of all, for those who don't know, you need to make sure you follow her because her brand, it looks so exquisite, so expensive. When I saw, so let me tell you, and this is when I was like, okay, let me go ahead and reach out to her before I forget again. I use a jade roller in the morning when I do my skincare.
Mm-hmm.
I was scrolling through social media and your company rolls by and you're launching a new jade roller. I said, "Oh, my jade roller." Now I feel like my jade roller looks cheap. I was like, okay, now I want one of her jade rollers because the branding, the packaging, everything about it, it definitely says that you live well, that
Thank
you look well. So kudos to you for that. I hate I don't have anything to show, but the people need to see. They need to make sure
you.
they follow you.
I got
Um,
a couple pieces here, so I was like,
See, there we go. There we go.
I always keep
Um,
something dry.
Listen, because I love it. I've noticed that there are a couple of people that I follow on social media that I've been watching their journey from the first time, like I've been watching them for years
Mm-hmm.
on social media, but there's one particular person that I watch him all the time anyway because he's into fashion and skincare. And I noticed that I was like, oh, his skin is glowing. Like I want my skin to glow and be healthy, not because it's packed with products, but I want it to look good.
Right.
His skin, listen, when he posted the next screenshot and he said, "I am loving my products from Elle Johnson," I said, she better do that. Because you could tell that I watched his skin just become healthy, glowing skin.
Right.
So I know for a lot of us, a lot of women of color, like you said, there are products there, but are there healthy products that are good for our skin and that are going to feel good for our pocket? And we see the value in that.
Absolutely. And that's the thing, and that's another caveat to my brand is that although it is a luxe product,
Mm-hmm.
my price point is still substantially less than your Chanel's, your Gucci's, your Estee Lauders, with still great results because, I have to be conscious of my consumer. And I want a product that, although it is luxury concept, I do want it to be available amongst different levels of income.
Mm-hmm.
So, it's luxury, but it's affordable luxury. Skincare within itself is an investment. We all know that. But at the same time, I don't want someone to come to my site and be like, oh my God, I got to make a decision between, purchasing her product or, paying my light bill.
Right.
So I want it to be accessible, but it is still, a luxury aesthetic. And I love that you mentioned that you saw the young gentleman or the guy, that uses the brand, which is something that initially it wasn't at the forefront of my mind because when I was designing this brand, I was, thinking with women in mind.
Mm-hmm.
And I just randomly started getting guys asking me, hey, is this product for men? Can we use this product? And of course, it's for anyone. And I tell anyone that, regardless if you're a Black woman, white, Asian, Hispanic, it doesn't matter. The product works for anyone, but it is specifically marketed to us intentionally. But
Mm-hmm.
I have so many guys that use the product and love it, and like they are so gorgeous.
They
you know,
are.
they're just, I love to see the glow up, whether it's ladies or men, but that just has been a blessing that I didn't necessarily plan or account for.
Mm-hmm.
Because we're now moving into this different space with beauty where it's not only women, but men are really getting into the whole beauty space and skincare. And,
Grooming.
there's even like foundation and concealers that are made specifically for men. So, it definitely gives me room to grow, to expand the brand, expand my customer base. But it's just, it's a blessing. And I think that's the most authentic praise that I can get, is when it's something that I have not paid for, something that I am not aware of, just real people using the
Mm-hmm.
product. I think that's the best testimonial that you can have.
It is. So right before, because I know I remember seeing you were on like the top list for skincare products to have by a couple of major hitters in the industry. And I feel like that happened right when we went into this COVID shelter in place. Tell me how you've had to pivot coming off those high moments. And if you would go ahead and let the people know who featured you in their publications on their website, and then how have you pivoted to still be able to provide this service for your customers?
Absolutely. So like I said, I've been blessed. My brand will be 3 years old in September. And to have the rate of growth and the support and the features that I've had so far has been nothing short of amazing. I will say that, some of that is attributed to the fact that I felt like I had somewhat of a leg up when it comes to branding because it's what I've always done. So,
Mm-hmm.
part of my journey in this was that I said to myself, I want to do for me what I've done for everyone else. I've helped these other people build their brands, build their products, build their personal brand. And in doing that, especially when you're working with a product-based brand, not all the time is your input, accepted, because at the end of the
Mm-hmm.
day, it's this other person's brand. So they have a vision for their brand. I can only consult and advise to a certain level. And if they say no, then we go another route. So, I had all these ideas in my head, and some of them, some clients maybe weren't receptive or didn't quite understand the vision or catch on. And I was like, everything that I've done for everyone else, it's time for me to now do for me. Um,
Right.
so, within the 3 years, it's been awesome. We've been featured with Elle.com, which is, a international magazine
Major. Mm-hmm.
website. So that was awesome. Yahoo Beauty picked us up and did a feature. And then BET included us. I think they had a list of their top 8 Black-owned skincare beauty brands that you should
Mm-hmm.
consider. And so BET featured us. And then, Essence picked us up, and Essence has featured us several
Drop
times,
the receipts.
which
Love it.
which was awesome. And let me see who else we had. Essence, and then I have to shout out my local people because I'm a Charlotte girl. I'm a Charlotte native. I love Charlotte to my heart. Like, I am diehard Charlotte. So I have to shout out, the Charlotte Post. They did
Mm-hmm.
newspaper here, so they put me on the front cover. So that was amazing, because it's one thing to be received and praised by outsiders, but it's another
But
thing.
when it happens home.
Yeah, so that kind of gives you that legitimacy, from people that
Mm-hmm.
may potentially know you to co-sign what you're doing. So we've been blessed, and the great thing about it, is just having a good product, being able to communicate that product message and identify with that particular demographic, and just staying true to my branding and my vision. And it paid off because, these are opportunities that you don't pay for. It's not like I paid, BET to say, hey, I want you guys to write about my company and I'm going to pay you to do that, because, you'll be surprised that does happen sometimes.
Mm-hmm.
Being a smaller brand, I want authentic cosigns to my brand. And the crazy thing, a lot of times people write about my brand, like BET wrote about my brand, and like at that time, I didn't even know they had wrote about my brand. Like, the same thing with Essence. They wrote about us, and I noticed this influx of web traffic, and I was like, what the heck is going on? Where are these people coming from? And somebody tagged me, and so it has been a blessing. It definitely has been a blessing. I'm thankful
Mm-hmm.
for it, and just got to keep pushing, got to keep growing.
So how are you managing all of that? Because as you mentioned earlier, and I know you have a beautiful daughter. She's great. She is just absolutely gorgeous. Her skin is glowing too. How are you managing being a mom and the business owner and all of the other things that you take place with? How do you manage that, and what message would you have for other moms who are in the same space?
Oh my gosh. I would say time management is key, but I think
Mm-hmm.
ultimately you have to prioritize. You have to determine what's important to you, and it's a juggle, because what's important or what's most pressing today may not be what's most important or pressing tomorrow. So for me,
Absolutely.
an interesting fact is that I still work in the corporate sector. Um,
Okay.
I love, working in the corporate sector. Now, granted, what I do, it's not demanding. I have a great deal of freedom. My day typically is over by around 2 o'clock in the corporate sector. And I love that, when people are always like, well, why don't you quit your job? Or when are you going to quit your job? And my thing is like, why? Like, it's not taking anything away from me, because
Mm-hmm.
my brand is online. So although I do have, conference calls and different things to do, for me, like, I am a avid believer in having multiple streams of income.
Yes.
And I think anyone should pursue that, regardless of if you work a regular job or brand. I adamantly believe that you should allow some cushion for yourself, so that when one thing slacks off, the other thing may pick up and you're not completely thrown off. So, I work in the insurance industry, and it's not super demanding. And my thing is, why would I leave that? They pay me well. They pay me good money to do what I do for the limited time that they have me. So it's a juggle. I structure my day. That is one thing that I tell people. You have to develop a routine. And I think ultimately, if you are a business owner, it takes a lot of discipline. And so
Mm-hmm.
that I worked very much by structure. So, I know how my day is allocated. I know that, from about 5 in the morning until about 2 o'clock, I'm dedicating myself to be available for the corporate space.
Mm-hmm.
And then, I do have my daughter. She's 16 now. So it's not as demanding, as it once was, because she's now in this stage to where she's in her room pretty much all day. She only comes out to eat and take a shower, unless she wants me to take her to the store somewhere. But I still try to allocate time for me and her to do stuff. If it's something as simple as watching a movie, or she likes to go to Target and pick out jewelry, and it's important to me that during those times that I try to give her my undivided attention, unless like an emergency comes up. So
Okay.
it definitely is a struggle, and a juggle sometimes, because, I'm torn in different directions, between the corporate, running my brand, which the great thing about being a brand owner, right now and in this space that we're in, is that so much of what we do is built upon technology. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of things can be automated, from emails to, customer responses to even your posting on social media. So a lot of my brand is automated. That way, it just kind of falls upon me to, make sure that we're packing the orders and getting the order shipped out in a timely fashion. But, ultimately, I tell people all the time, structure, having a set schedule.
Mm-hmm.
I know oftentimes as creatives, which a lot of brand owners are considered creatives, it's hard to kind of zone in and have that structure, because you're used to, just being able to be creative and free flowing and just kind of do whatever you want to do when you want to do it. But you'll come to find, as your brand grows, it really requires that structure. You have to have a formal structure to keep things afloat, and if you don't have that, then you will need people on your team that bring that
To
structure.
keep you focused.
Yeah.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I already see it's 6:55. We got 5 minutes left. And so we're going to have to do a part two, because I want the people to see your products. I want you to talk to us about your products. Go ahead and give the people. So yes, so show them a couple and tell them how they can follow you on social media, your website information. So while they're waiting for us to come up with the time to figure out part two, they can go ahead and purchase.
Sure. Yeah. So you can follow us online LJohnson.co. So that's the social media handle, LJohnson.co. That's ELLE Johnson.co. The website is the same exact thing, LJohnson.co, not .com, but .co. And we have a variety of products. The great thing that you will see, just in short, when you are shopping on the website and looking at the bundles, is that we will ask you about your skin type, which is very important when you're purchasing skincare. Because if you are not using products for the right skin type, then it's not going to work. And I think sometimes people, get frustrated with skincare. They buy things and they're like, oh, that doesn't work. And it's not so much that it doesn't work. It just may not be for your skin type. So for example, like if you have normal or dry skin, the cleanser that we would sell on the website to you is called our Botanical Cleansing Lotion. And it's essentially a lotion-based cleanser that will not strip the skin of that initial layer and your moisture. Whereas someone like myself who has combination or oily skin, you'll notice that the cleanser intended for you is a gel cleanser, because gel cleansers will work better with those oily skin types to kill off any bacteria, which is what builds because you have that oil in your skin. So a gel cleanser will work towards killing off that bacteria, getting, any excess oil, dirt, getting all of that out of the skin. So you'll notice that when you go in and shop. But we have several different products. This is our newest product. It's called a clarifying cream. And you see it's a pretty pink color.
I love that.
And all of our packaging is acrylic. So we don't package in just your regular plastic, because over time, the plastic on the inside can wear down and that can transfer to your product. And you're then, plastic on your skin. So so that's why you see a lot of companies are shying away from plastic and they'll use either acrylic or glass. So we went with acrylic. So it's this beautiful, clear acrylic design. So we have, something for every skin type. We have moisturizers, we have exfoliants, serums, whatever you can think of. If we don't have it, we're working on it. So hope you guys will check it out.
I love it. So thank you so much. We're finishing up right on time. Thank you so much. I will be reaching out to you because I know we're going to have to do a part 2. Thank you for sharing your stories and how you go about your day as a mother, as an employee, and as a boss handling your own brand. I did see a question someone asked if you helped other people with their branding. I'll make sure to connect the two of you so you can follow up with them on that, because you're doing a great job with yours. I love what you have going on. Tell your daughter I said hello. And thank you again so much for doing this with me, for helping us show people that there is a new version. Like when we think about models, we think about the examples, the professionalism and the excellence that's delivered through service. So I appreciate you so much.
Absolutely. Thank you. I had a blast.
You're welcome.
I enjoyed you and look forward to the next time.
Yes, ma'am. We'll make it happen.
Alrighty.
All right. Bye-bye. Okay, everybody. So that was Elle Johnson from Elle Johnson. If you're looking for skincare and beauty products, you know now where to go. There's another option for you. Be sure to check her out. Amazing, amazing products. Love her and what she's doing. And next week, we will be right back Tuesday at 6:30. And I already have our guest, but I'll wait and let you guys know who it is. We have guests lined up for the rest of May, and going into June, we're going to be doing something very special. So thank you all so much. If you have any questions, or if you want to reach someone, one of the guests that we've had on previously, just let me know. We will get you the information, and all of these will be available for you soon on our website. Love you guys so much. Thanks for tuning in from Texas, from New York, from Virginia. I love you guys. I see somebody from California and from Florida. Thank you all so